Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another video game collection video, and I guess welcome to update number 6 of my Xbox One and PlayStation 4 video game collection. And my collection has definitely grown since the last time I did this, which I think was in the beginning of this year, I think January. Usually I try to give the updates about a few months each because I do collect a lot of games, and I also do get rid of some games. So my collection's always changing. It's never going to be as huge as some people on YouTube, but it's always changing. It's always like I'm swapping games out for other games and stuff like that. So the collection's always going to be diverse, at least. So I could say that. I do get rid of my games here and there. I am a collector, but I'm more of a collector for older stuff, and I guess 360, which is older stuff, but you know, like other stuff, you know, like PS2, Xbox original, like Genesis, SNES, stuff like that. So I know a lot of people are always wondering, like, why you get rid of all your stuff when you trade it into GameStop and whatnot? It's because I get decent deals for trading them in and stuff like that. So might as well try to get as much money as I can now before, like, Mass Effect Andromeda ends up being a $10 bargain bin game, especially if I'm not going to play it anyway, so, you know. Or I'm not going to play it anymore, I should say. Well, actually, Mass Effect Andromeda, I didn't really play. I played a couple hours and I was like, yeah, maybe next time. So let's get to it, okay? I'm going to start off with the Xbox One collection. I think the last time I did this was in January. I'm pretty sure. I said that already. But I think the last time I did the collection, I had around 70 Xbox One games. I just counted. I actually have exactly 90 this time. And that's excluding, I have a double of a game, and it's excluding Steelbooks, which are, you know, those aren't games. Those are just extra Steelbooks I have. So let's show off what I got in ABC order. That's right, I do ABC order. What's up, sons? Alright, let's start off with this little stack right here, and let's go on. Alright, first game is Arslan, The Warriors of Legend, which of course I have sealed, so I have yet to play this. So we could just move on from there. Next is Battleborn, which is a game that you can get for, I think, be wrong. I think you can get it at the dollar store for half off. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. But Battleborn is I guess now kind of free to play. You can play the multiplayer as much as you want, but you can't play the campaign or something like that. So it's pretty much free to play. BioShock the Collection. So far, everything you've already seen. BioShock Collection. Since then, I think I already played BioShock 1 since the last collection video. So nothing new to report with this one. I guess I started BioShock Infinite again, I think, in between. And it was great. It's an amazing game. I have a bunch of stuff over my shirt. Get off. Get off. I look weird. White stuff. I got white stuff over me. Anyway, next game. Battleborn. No, this is not that Gearbox game. This is Borderlands, the Handsome Tom Collection, or Handsome Jack Handsome Collection. That's it. It's just Handsome. And Handsome Tom. That's a screw attack. There you go. Of course, great games. So far, all games, well, 2 games I haven't played, and 2 that have been remastered collections. Let's talk about another game that's kind of like a remaster. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. This is more of a port, really. But this is an amazing game. I actually have played this. This is an amazing game, and I highly, highly recommend it. Next is another... This is definitely new since the last update. Bulletstorm, the Epic Tom Collection. Full Clip Edition. Is another Gearbox game. What the fuck was all the Gearbox games starting with B? I mean, technically it's not a Gearbox game, but it's published by them, so... What's up, bros? Next, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. The last Call of Duty that I really got into, I would say. So, there you go. Next is a game I actually just bought. I was going to do an unboxing for this because I think it's going to be a little bit harder to find in the future, at least on retail. This is Cities Skylines, the Xbox One edition, GameStop exclusive. And the last GameStop exclusive, I think, was Duke Nukem whatever, which you'll see in this collection. Spoilers. And I think that's a little hard to find. I could be wrong though. But anyway, there you go. Next is Darksiders, the War Mastered Edition, which of course is the first game. We're getting that third game. I also, of course, have Darksiders, the Definitive Edition. Hopefully the third one's not called, I don't know, Fury. I don't even know how they would mess with the title there. You got War Mastered, you got Definitive. Darksiders 3, I could see like in 5 years there's like a Fury Fury. I don't even know, because you play Fury if you don't know. I don't even know how they messed with the title of that. Next is another game I just got, Dead by Daylight. I have yet to play this because I've been playing Friday the 13th a lot. Well, maybe not a lot. I played about maybe like a dozen hours or so. Not a dozen. It's around a dozen at this point, but not dozens. But I've played a lot of that, but I have yet to play this. I just got it like 3 days ago, so it's not really that big of a deal. Or yeah, it was like 3 days ago. All right, next is Dead or Alive 5 Last Round. I think that's new since the last update. Still sealed because I actually got this for I think $5. No, $6 off Microsoft Store. I already actually have it downloaded onto my Xbox. All right, we'll get through these next 4 rapid fire because they're all part of the same series. You got Dead Rising 1, of course. You got Dead Rising 2, of course. And you got Dead Rising 3, of course. And you got Dead Rising 4. All these games are great in their own way. I know a lot of people don't like Dead Rising 4, but I only played maybe like 4 or 5 hours of it, to be fair. But what I played was fun. I should get back to it. Especially since it's a game that you could just shut your brain off and just play. You don't really need to pay attention. And I do play a lot of games that are like that, so I should probably get to that. Just games where you just, you know, listen to a podcast, well, maybe not watch a video, but listen to a video, whatever. So anyway, next pile, we got Deus Ex Mankind Divided, which is still sealed, even though I have played this. I sold that original copy, and then I picked this up when it was really cheap during Christmas time, I think. Great game. I just wish I got into it a little bit more because I loved the last game, but I think it was way too long in between the sequels or the the games because the last one was 2011. It was like 5 years. It was a little bit too long. Maybe 3 years. I would have preferred that, to be honest. But yeah. Anyway, Destiny: The Taken King. Not much to say. You've seen that in about 4 freaking updates. You've probably seen this in about as many. Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, still sealed. I'm going to keep this sealed until I decide to play it. Especially since I got this really cheap when it first came out. And I think it stayed around the $35 range new. So, you know, it's not really dropping value too bad. Next is Disney Fantasia Music Evolved in a crappy-ass case. The reason why the case is so crappy is because I actually switched this out for another case. Actually, it was a Wolfenstein: A New Order. There you go. It says it right there. Spoilers, I have that. Next is Dishonored 2, the Steelbook. And Doom, the Steelbook. You probably noticed that Dishonored, well, you might not have noticed, but when it comes to ABC order, Disney and Dishonored, usually Dishonored would be before Disney, because that's how it works in ABC order. But the reason why I didn't do that is because I wanted Dishonored 2 to be right next to Doom in my collection, so that's why. Wasn't that big of a deal. Next is Dragon Age Inquisition, which I only played I played the first 10 hours of this game multiple times, but the furthest I've ever gotten was probably around 15 hours. But I played the first 10 a few hours. A few times. I played the first 10 hours a few hours. I don't know. But I really like what I played. I just wish I got back into it. I don't know. There's so many fucking games now. And so many games are just like, yo, we have like 3 million hours. You could play this game. You could stay in this world. I'm like, I don't want to. I want to go to another world. God damn it. Next is, speaking of a world I would love to invest my time into, Duck Dynasty. There you go. I just got this today, actually, at GameStop. It says $6.29, but I actually got it for $5. There you go. That's how you do them deals right there, city boy. Doing a thing. So anyway, next, here's Duke Nukem, like I mentioned earlier, and that's another Gearbox published thing. Gearbox needs to stop, okay? If it's from a B to a D, I'm going to have at least 20 of those games, okay? From Gearbox. I turned 4 games into 20. There you go. That's how you do it. That's how you over... words. I can't think of words. Anyway, next game. Elder Scrolls Online. This is actually open. Last time I think it was sealed. The reason why it's open is because my cousin wanted to play it really bad. So I let him. He plays a lot of M-rated games. He doesn't give a shit. Alright, next is Evil Within, which of course the sequel's coming out, and I'm very excited because I really want to get into the series because I was not a huge fan of this one. I know a lot of people were. I was not a huge fan, so I apologize if you were and you find that offensive. But I really want to get into the series, and I feel like the second one will be better. They'll fix a lot of the problems, at least I had. I don't know why I think that, but I do. That's just how I roll. Okay, next is Evolve, which, you know, remember this? Remember when this came out? Remember when Twitch did a thing where you could play as Chappie or something like that? Remember that? Remember the movie Chappie? Anyway. Next is another steelbook from my boys Bethesda, Fallout 4. They really like their steelbooks where it's just the main character or one of the main character's face on the thing, or something really... I'm going to the next thing. Next is Far Cry 4 Limited Edition. It's a game. I never got into this much, but I'm very excited for Far Cry 5. Next is a game I actually just picked up today, Fighter Within, which actually, if you watch my... I don't know why I'm saying this, like anybody would remember, but if you watched when I first got the Xbox One, I actually picked this up as a release day title. I got this, it says $4.49, but I had I had 10% off, and I had, I think another like 16% off. They're doing like this whole deal where you get 16% extra off if you get another game or whatever, and this was like $3.50 or something like that, so pretty good. And next is Flashback Classics Volume 1. It has a bunch of old Atari games, like, oh, you got Sword Quest, Centipede, Combat, Star Raiders. What else? You got some classics in there. That's really cool. I had to pick that up because I felt like maybe this would be rare in the future. So far it hasn't, but it has stayed around the $15 to $20 range, which is how much it costs. And this came out, I think, back in October last year. So I also, of course, have Flashbacks Volume 2, but I'll get to that in the next pile. So there you go, that's another pile. I'm doing this in a way where, like, when I'm showing it and I put it back down, it's still in ABC order, so I don't need to fucking deal with that later, because that's always annoying. Every time I do these videos, it's always, I have to reorganize and stuff, and it's always annoying. So, alright, so anyway, Flashback Volume 2, you saw that. This one has Missile Command, I think? Any Missile Command? That was on Atari, right? I think this is Missile Command. Yeah, Missile Command's right there. That's Missile Command, I think. You got Haunted House, which is the first, like, well, not the first, but one of the first horror games. Asteroids, Major Havoc. You got a bunch of classics on here. That one has stayed around the same as the other one, 15, 20 bucks. Gears of War 4 Ultimate Edition. This was one of the worst decisions of my life. I mean, it's a cool steelbook, but no, don't get me wrong, it's a great game. But me paying $100 for this to get a shitty, terrible season pass that really doesn't matter, and playing it like 3 days early. That's really early, quote unquote early. I mean, so many people got this at that point that the same day I got it. Is that, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't know, but it's a nice steelbook, and it looks really nice. Like, you know, it's a well preserved copy, I guess. Yeah, it's a great game too. But I just didn't play enough of it to really warrant that. Next is Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Of course, I have that. But I also have, which I'm still confused if this should be counted as its own game. Because as a collector, I would consider this its own thing because it's its own, like, case. But it's not its own game. So please let me know, like, as a collector. Not as a, like, just like, oh, you have a game collection or whatever. As a collector, well, that's the same thing. But you know what I mean. Just someone that has some games. But as a collector, would you consider the Gears of War Ultimate Edition and Rare Replay bundle not a different game, but another addition to the collection? Because it is its own thing. Please let me know, because I do think you should count it. So that's why I have 90. If I don't count it, then I don't have 90. So that's another reason why I'm counting it. I'm not even going to lie to you. Next is Grand Theft Auto 5. Of course, do I need to say anything about Grand Theft Auto 5? All I can say right now is bring on Red Dead Redemption 2. I need it now. And of course they pushed it back, sons of bitches. Guitar Hero Live, fun game. I have that controller somewhere, or the guitar I should say. Halo, the Master Chief Collection, of course. A huge disappointment when it first came out, but it's a damn good bundle to get now, especially since you can get it for around 20 bucks now. Definitely worth it. I'm sure there's still people playing it. Halo 5 Guardians, great game. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the next one. Even though I hope they fix that story, because the story really let me down. Because I was actually really looking forward to the story. Next is Halo Wars 2. That's different. There you go. That came out in February, I think. I have yet to play this, but I would like to say I'm excited, but I'm not really. I just got it really cheap. So I might actually get rid of this. I'm not even going to lie. But who knows. I still have it in my collection, though. Next is another new game, Injustice 2, which is excellent so far. I'm really liking it. I'm about halfway through the story mode. I've only played it like a couple hours, so I need to get back into it. But the story mode is excellent. The game itself is really excellent, and I can't wait until my girl, I was about to say my boy, my girl Starfire gets into the game, because I'll be playing the hell out of her. You know what I mean, right? I'm talking about the game. Get out of here. Alright, next, Just Sing. Still sealed. I bought this because it was really cheap. I think it was like 12 bucks for Best Buy Black Friday or something like that. No, it was 15, and I couldn't do the 20% off thing for the GCU because they wouldn't allow it. So it was actually 15, but I bought it because I thought it would be funny to do as like a Let's Play in the future, and I never got around to it. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Next is King's Quest, the complete collection. That's still sealed too. I will get to that eventually. Next is Lego Hobbit. I got this really cheap. That's the only reason why I got it. It's also not sealed. It's just Best Buy pre-owned. Lichdom Battle Mage. I didn't actually play this yet, even though it's not sealed. My cousin played it. He said it was terrible. And I heard it's awful on consoles. Got it for really cheap. I got it for like $7 when it first came out. Well, close to when it first came out. It was like a couple months after. And next is Life is Strange, the limited edition. The reason why I got this is because I thought this would be rare in the future, and I was right, except I got the wrong console, because the PS4 one is actually rare. This was like a $30 collector's edition, I think, or limited edition, I guess. And I think the PS4 one goes for like 70, 80 bucks now. This one goes for around 40 or 50, so I didn't get completely screwed, except I kind of did because the, I don't know if you could tell, but the box is beat up a little bit. So it's probably dropped the value down anyway, but I'm going to keep it in my collection anyway, because I really love that game anyway. So anyway, as you can tell, I really like saying the word anyway. Let's get on to our next stack, which is Little Nightmares, which is really good. That's a new game right there. It's a really good game. I highly recommend it. It's definitely, it's creepy, but it's definitely a very visual game. Like, you're not going to be really stumped on it too much. There's some challenging moments, but it's more visual, and it's very visually gorgeous. Next is Lords of the Fallen, the complete edition. The same question I had with the Gears of War Rare Replay bundle. If I get this game, but it's the regular version, not the complete with all the DLC and stuff on the disc version, would that be considered a different game? Because I'm actually considering getting that as well. I think GameStop's still doing the 4 for $20 on certain games, and I think that's included. So I might do that. I don't know. For $4, why not? Or $4.50. It'll be around $4.50 for me. Next is Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, and of course Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, which is one of the best games of 2015. Played this for almost 100 hours. Love this game. So good. And I played Ground Zeroes quite a few times. Next is Metro Redux. I actually started replaying this game. The first game, actually. I never beat it, so I had to start over, of course. Because of Metro Exodus coming out soon. Well, maybe not soon. Next year, but yeah, it's coming. So I'm excited. Next is Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which I actually just got. This and another game, which I'll talk about when I get to it. I got these two games for $11. So not bad, especially since this game I never got to play. Because I was busy when this came out with other stuff. I think it came out close to E3 time and stuff, so I was focused on that. I think, I could be wrong. I heard it's alright. Not terrible, but definitely disappointing. But for the price I got it for, I'm sure it's fine. Next is, of course, my girl Tracer, Overwatch. I love Tracer. Everybody knows I love her. I love her. Fucking hate her. But, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm trying to fit in. I love her. I fucking hate her. I love her. I fucking hate her. I don't know who keeps saying that. But anyway, I love this game and I love Tracer. I fucking hate her. Next is Prey. Of course, Prey just came out last month. I'm about 20 hours into this. I think I should be able to finish it in the next week or so. Loving the hell out of it so far. Really good, very atmospheric, very, very fun when it comes to the gameplay, the gunplay and all that. Pretty creepy at times too. When the nightmare shows up, I shit my pants. That's all I'll say. So there we go. Prey. Next is Project Cars. I got this for really cheap. If you see a game that's sealed, it's either I got it really cheap or I got it in, well, I guess it could be both. I got it really cheap or I got it really cheap and I'm going to play in the future sometime. So, Project Cars I just got really cheap. I don't know if I'll ever play that, but that's for the collection. Next is Project Spark, considering, I mean, speaking of games that start with Project and I will never play, this I can never play because it's it doesn't work anymore, sadly. It's really sad because it's actually a really cool idea. Oh shit, this had a little sticky on it and made the other box fall. It had a little sticky on it. Next is Prototype Biohazard Bundle, which of course is the first 2 games, or the only 2 games in the Prototype series. Shittily terrible remasters too. Really bad. Really bad remasters. They're pretty much exact same games, except from what I've heard, they run worse. I don't know how the fuck they did that, but I had to get it because it was really cheap, and I really like those games. Next is Rainbow Six Siege, which is a really fun tactical game. I think I had this for the last update. So, next is Rare Replay Standalone. Hopefully that counts. And the next is Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, and my favorite game, Resident Evil 6. I only say that because people get upset if I don't like Resident Evil. You know, watch my Resident Evil, I don't even know what the friggin' movie was called anymore. The Resident Evil, the memorable movie, whatever it's called. What was it called? With the last Resident Evil movie. Not the live action one, the CG one. People get upset if you don't like the Resident Evil. Oh boy. I didn't even hate it. I was just like, it's alright, and it's fine. Next is Rime, which is a really, really good game. I'm about 3 hours into it. It's not very long. From what I heard, it's like 6 to 7 hours long, so I'm getting there. It's a really, really colorful, very vibrant looking game. My only problem with this game, there's puzzles and stuff. It's really cool. It's a nice adventure game. But my only problem really is that, at least on the Xbox, I don't know about PS4, maybe it could be my Xbox. My Xbox is getting really old. It's like almost 4 years old at this point. And I am hopefully getting another one soon, like the Xbox One X or the S or whatever. The frame rate is just terrible. And I looked it up. I couldn't find anybody else really upset about it, but it dips below 20 frames. It's like 15 at times, and maybe even less than that. I just have problems with it. I think it might just be my Xbox, though, so I can't really blame this game yet until I get full confirmation that it's the game itself. Next is Rocket League, of course. Everybody loves Rocket League. Rocket League. I'll buy Rocket League every day. Rocket League, Rocket League. I like Rocket League. It's a lot of Rocket League. I have such a Rocket League time with that Rocket League. Next is Rise, Son of Rome, which is that in there? Where the fuck is that game? I don't have it. I was about to say, I picked it up. It felt very light. I know I definitely have it. I never got rid of it. I did lend it to my cousin. Maybe he brought it back without a game in it. Maybe it's in one of these other games. I haven't played it since it first came out, so it had to have been him. I'll figure it out, I guess. Next is Shape Up. That game I definitely have, by the way, so I'm counting it. Shape Up, seal. Oh no, actually, that's a pre-owned. That's a pre-owned seal job. That's what Best Buy does. Next is Skylanders Swap Force, which, yeah, Skylanders. Next, I got Trap Team. Yeah. And I do have, like I said before, I have doubles of a game. I have another Trap Team. My cousin left his copy here, and he said I could just have it. I don't know why. I guess he just didn't want it. I already had it, so whatever. Next is Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. I've been meaning to go back to this. I've played it all the way through, but I really like this game. And I wanted to see how good the remaster was. Not that I remember what the original game looked like exactly, but still want to check it out. Next is actually something new I got. This is Sniper Elite 3 Ultimate Edition. Got that. Where did I get this from? I didn't get it from GameStop. I mean, this is GameStop on it. I got it from somewhere. But anyway, Sniper Elite Ultimate Edition. That's cool. Next, I still have this freaking Song of the Deep Collector's Edition still sealed. I was hoping this would be rare in the future, but freaking everything Song of the Deep is cheap now. Like, this is like 20 bucks now. Song of the Deep, the game itself, you can get at a GameStop for like 10 bucks or some shit. They're selling that Funko Pop of the main character and her ship for like nothing. Oh look, I just realized this actually has a tear on the front of it. I don't know how that happened. Probably me putting games in and back out of my my little bookcase or whatever, and I just ripped it open on mistake. Whatever. It's not worth shit, but I like the look of it, so I'll keep it sealed because I really don't give a shit about opening it. Never got around to playing it. Next is Star Wars Battlefront Ultimate Edition. I actually didn't have this last time. I had it for PS4. You'll be seeing another copy of this in a second, but there you go. The Technomancer. I have yet to play this, but I heard it's okay, and I want to at least try it out. Got it for really cheap too. Tekken 7, yeah, this game's dope. This game's really fun. I played about 6 or 7 hours of it. I have yet to play the story mode, though. I will do that after I'm done with Injustice 2s. But I played a lot of this online and customized my characters and stuff like that. I put a lot of the classic costumes on some of my favorite characters like Nina and Martial Law. I'm a fan. It's back, baby. Tekken's back. It's been a little while. Tekken 6 came out, what? Almost 10 years ago. They didn't come out in 2008? I mean, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 came out, but that's not... I mean, it is, I guess, a main series game, but I'm talking about the numbered ones, you know. So, it was cool to have this back. Hopefully it doesn't take that long for us to get another one. That's the cool thing about Tekken, man. You don't see Super Tekken 7 or Super Ultra Tekken 7 4 months later. And to be fair, we haven't seen that yet from Street Fighter V, but I feel like we're going to any second now. Next is Guardians of the Galaxy, a Telltale game, which is, of course, a brand new thing I just got because this just started, I think, last month. I think it came out right, like the first episode came out right before the movie came out. So you have that. I got that for really cheap, like 15 bucks. And I do want to play them when they're all out, so I could just like rapid fire them. And, of course, I got The Walking Dead, the Season 3, A New Frontier, which I did actually start doing a playthrough for the first episode, and I never continued it after that. I will continue in the future because I really want to see what happens in this. I heard it's actually a pretty good season, so not amazing, but pretty good. So there you go. That's in our stack, and we have just one little stack left, and then we'll be done with Xbox. Alright, next is another game that's new to the collection, kinda, even though I've had it in my collection before, but I got rid of it, and I got it again for cheap. Thief. Got this for that 4 for $20 thing at GameStop. This, what else? Wolfenstein, and a couple other games. Oh, Lords of the Fallen and something else. But Thief, there you go. Disappointing game, especially since it's made by the guys that did the Deus Ex games, the recent ones. This is a game called This Is the Police. There you go. This game is the other one I got with Mirror's Edge for 11 bucks. I've heard this is actually a pretty cool little simulation game where you play as like a police sergeant or something like that, or police chief, that's right. And I think the police chief is voiced by Duke Nukem. At least he was the guy that voiced Duke Nukem, obviously, John St. John. And I could be wrong. Maybe it was just for the trailer, but in the trailer he did voice the character. So I don't know if in the game itself he's voicing the character, but he voiced the character in the trailer. So I'm looking forward to that, just because it's John St. John. And I didn't mention this before, but that Bulletstorm HD remake, I played it with Duke Nukem in it. Oh, it was so fucking embarrassing. It was terrible. Awful. It's just like the same joke over and over again. Like, my name's not Gray, because it's Duke. My name's Duke. I'm the king of balls. Or whatever. Fuck you. Shut up. Next is Titanfall 1. And of course, I got me some Titanfall 2. Yeah, you know it. Love Titanfall 2. Love both of those games. Next is Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. And a lot of HD remasters. Here's something new. The Town of Light. Still have yet to play this from what I've heard. It's pretty short. And I heard it's not that great, but you know what? I had to get it. And it's cool. It actually came with like actual pictures. You can watch my unboxing if you want to check that out. Next is Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 for the Xbox One. GameStop exclusive. That's the other GameStop exclusive. I think this actually is kind of hard to find. I just got it because it was a GameStop exclusive. I had all that trade credit, so I had to get it. I love me some Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or just Marvel vs. Capcom 3. A lot of people didn't care for it, but I loved it when it first came out. So I get to play as my boy Phoenix Wright in this game. Hell yeah! So there you go. Next is Watch Dogs. Remember that. Wasteland 2. Got this for cheap. That's why it's on there. I have that on Steam too. Next is Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. My favorite game of 2015 and one of my favorite games of all time. Wolfenstein, The New Order, which is an amazing game. Actually, one of my favorite games of 2014. I think that's when it came out, right? Could be wrong. I think 2014. Yeah, 2014. I can't wait for that sequel, man. That sequel looks fucking awesome. I love me some Wolfenstein. I've always loved Wolfenstein, just like I always loved Doom. And the next one, what a great way to end it. WWE 2K15, it's covering John Cena's face with a business card or some shit. So there you go. I also have these, I guess the steelbooks I could show you. So let me show you those before I wrap it up. I got Unravel. There you go. I guess that's kind of like another game right there. Here's the steelbooks, the lone steelbooks. Well, first of all, here's the slip cover for Rise of the Tomb Raider. I don't actually have it, but I had to keep that. Here's Witcher 3. Here's another Witcher 3 one. I got those from, here's the back of them too. I got those from Best Buy and the collector's edition of the game. Got Prey, another Bethesda Steelbook. I should switch that around with the regular case so I have a full Bethesda Steelbook collection, I guess. Project Cars. I got that from Loophole. It has, it has the Three Stooges and a Killzone Trilogy code in there, which I'm pretty sure is expired. Mass Effect Andromeda, remember that game? And Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, and the outer box of Little Nightmares, as you can see. Well, maybe you can't. I have the figurine, look at the back of my head, the figurine of Six, who is the main character. So there you go, that is Xbox One. Let's go on to the PS4, which will be shorter, that's for sure. So there you go. Give them the guns. Bam! Alright, so now let's take a look at my PlayStation 4 collection, which, when it comes to limited run games, has definitely increased over time. But for my regular PS4 games, it's probably increased about 6, maybe 7 games. So let's get to it. First game is Farpoint, which is a game I'm currently playing. I'm about 2-3 hours into it. Fun, I guess. The reason why I really wanted to get this mostly is because of the PlayStation Move controller, or the PlayStation Aim, whatever the hell it's called. The one that comes with the VR, or that works with the VR headset. That's the only reason why I really got this. It's alright. It's a fine shooter. You know, it has an interesting story, some interesting characters. For the most part, it's just a generic shooter. It's fun, not great though. Next is No Man's Sky. What do I have to say about that, really? Next is Valkyria Chronicles Remastered, except I don't really have it. There's no game in it. I just wanted the steel case. Sold it to GameStop. Kept the steel case because why not keep the steel case? It's a nice steel case. Next is Nier Automata. About 15 hours into this, meaning I am almost done with my first playthrough, but I will have to play it over and over again. Not really play it over and over again. I think you just have to restart at a certain point to get all the other endings and get the true ending, which sounds annoying. But it was kind of the same like the original Nier did it, where except you had to like play that game a second time or all the way throughout to get the true ending. I just said, you know what, screw it, I'll just watch it. Like I watched a whole playthrough of someone playing it the second time, and you hear like different things and stuff like that. I haven't played that game in a long time, and I haven't watched that playthrough in a long time. But great game, and so is this. This game's excellent. I need to get back to it. Next is Final Fantasy X-2. I'm sure everybody's getting tired of seeing that fucking thing. Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection, of course, everybody's probably tired of seeing that. Here's Battlefront, like I said before, I have it on PS4. Here's a VR demo discs. Dragon Quest Heroes. I always love trying to say this subtitle. The World Trees Woe and the Blight Below. That's a good name. The Last Guardian, of course, I need to continue that because I have yet to finish it. Persona 5, of course, that's brand new, and that is the Collector's Edition Steelbook. Actually, I think you can get the Steelbook without all the other stuff, but I have the book bag, or whatever the hell it was, the messenger bag, and all that other stuff. So, cool. And I'm about 15 hours into this. I'm going to continue this very soon, though, because I want to. Yakuza 0. Great game. Really, really fun. I can't remember if I showed this in the last update, because the last update came out in January, like I said, like 14 times. And this came out January, too. So I don't remember if I showed this in the last update. If I didn't, look what I got. If I did, look what I still got. There you go. Great game, though. Killzone Shadowfall. I'm sure you're tired of seeing that. Knack. No one is probably tired of seeing this, baby. Yeah. Knack 2's coming out in a couple months. MLB 14 The Show. Everybody's tired of seeing that. Arcania Gothic 4 or something. The Complete Tale. I got this because it was really cheap and I never played it. I thought it would be kind of cool to do as like a Gore plays, and then I thought it would be cool to do as a shit games done quick or something, because I heard it's not very good, but I didn't do either because fuck it. Last of Us Remastered, amazing game. I cannot wait for that sequel, boy. Oh, man. I've been meaning to actually replay this, too. Got about halfway through the second time I tried to play it. Not tried to play. I beat it the first time. Bound by Flame, which is a decent little RPG. A little, I would say it's a forgotten title, but it's decent. You know, not great, but decent. And Horizon Zero Dawn, which I just got, and have yet to play it, of course, but I just got this like last week. So there you go. Now let's move on to the I'm serious. That's it. That's it for all of those games. Now let's do limited run, because when it comes to PlayStation 4, I collect more for the limited run games. I have about 18 games that's not limited run. I have about, I don't know, I didn't count. I'm just going to estimate around 30 that are just straight up limited run games. And that's not including the Vita games, too. The Vita games I have another 10, I think. So, yeah. Next, first is Saturday Morning RPG, which, of course, the first one I got, at least. The first one for PS4 that is from limited run. Goes for around like $100 or some shit. Futuridium. There you go. Octodad, Dadliest Catch. Look at that. Look at that beautiful man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I got that on Vita too. Hell yeah. Next is Lost Sea. Oh, I should say that I did actually get rid of one game. Actually, I got rid of 2 games. That's not true. So a lot of people are probably already saying, like, I thought you were a collector, man. I got rid of them because I did a really good, like, sale. Is that what they say when you sold something for a really good price? I got a really good sale. No, I got a good deal, but you usually say that when you buy something cheap. I don't know. I sold it for quite a bit, and there were games that I forgot what the first one was, but it was like. What was it? Oh, Zeo Drifter. That's what it was. I have it on Vita. And I have the other game that I sold on PS4 on Vita, too. I can't remember what it was. So I was like, you know what? I have 2 of the same game. And I'd rather keep it on Vita because I don't have that many limited run games on Vita anyway. And also, I'm already missing like 3 games from PS4. So I said, screw it. I'll get rid of these. I could pay for other games in the future. And I could sell them for a really good price. And I was really lucky because both of those games, Zeo Drifter, and I forgot what the other one was. I forgot, but they went down a little bit in price. Right, like right now you can get them for like, I don't know, like one I sold for like 150 or something like that. Now you can sell for like 120 or something. So I got a good deal there. And Zeo Drifter sells for around 80. I sold it for 100. Deals. Hopefully those don't go up though. And I kept Saturday Morning RPG because I absolutely love that game. But next is Breaching Clear Deadline. There you go, sequel to probably the rarest game in the limited run games library, sadly. Of course, I don't have that one. And that's the Vita version of just Breaching Clear. That's what it's called. Rainbow Moon. Shadow Complex, of course, remastered. I actually did play this on the Xbox One. I played Shadow Complex when it first came out, but I played the remaster recently, and it holds up. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Again, I haven't played it since it first came out, so it was really cool getting to play it again. Mystery Chronicles One-Way Heroics, which is I played one of the One-Way Heroics games. I think maybe this was what it was, except maybe it has a different title now. I remember it just having a title called One-Way Heroics, but I could be wrong. I played it on Steam. I thought it was really cool. Thomas Was Alone, and so is the one fan of that game. No, I'm just kidding. Shantae Risky's Revenge, which awesome, but one thing that's not awesome, hear that? Disc is loose in the case. I have a couple of those limited run games that came to me like that, and that's really annoying. They don't do anything about it too, because really it's not their fault. And guess what? Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, awesome game. Hear that? Yeah. Next is Lone Survivor, which is actually a really great indie game. I highly recommend it. You can tell this is when I started not putting protective cases on these games because I've been getting a lot of them. And they do sell them when you buy the game, so you can buy a protective case along with the game. But I decided to stop doing that. Bleh! I decided to stop doing that. I've been recording too long. And living too long, I would say. The reason why I didn't do that is because I could buy them in bulk for way cheaper on eBay. So I might as well save I think it's like $2 for each one. I might as well save that $2 and like in the future get a protective case. Also, I keep them in pretty good condition. I usually just leave them there and that's pretty much where they stay. So it's not like I take them out all the time, so I can't really get injured in any way. Next is Firewatch, which hell yeah, Firewatch. Love this game. Some people don't like it because I guess they didn't know what it was supposed to be. It's not a horror game. Some people thought it was originally going to be that because they showed gameplay of this in the 2015 E3, I think the Sony press conference, and they thought it was going to be like some kind of horror game or something. It wasn't. It's just an adventure game with a really, really, really good cast of characters. Great characters. And it's really only 2 characters, but they are great characters. And the Delilah and Henry, I think, is the main guy. I think that's his name. But Delilah and Henry, their relationship is why this game is so great, I think. There you go, Firewatch. I highly recommend it. You can get a download too, so you don't need to buy an $80 version of this on eBay because that's probably how much it goes for now. It's a limited run. Curses and Chaos. I think this game is made by the guys that did Mercenary Kings. Actually, I think it says around the box. Mercenary Kings was one of the first PS Plus games or something like that, or one of the first PS Plus games on PS4. And it was really fun. It was like a Metal Slug game pretty much. It was fun. And I heard this game's okay too. Next is Aqua Kitty DX. This game you can actually get right now on Xbox One for one of their sales. They're having a really good sale right now. And I heard pretty good things, so maybe you should. It's only like $2 on there, so get it for Xbox One. Or you can get it for PS4 for like 50, 60 bucks. That's probably what people are selling it for. The Swapper. Look at that. That's a nice looking copy too. The Swapper I've heard is a really good game. I never got around to playing it, but I heard it's really good. And I'm glad to have this in the collection because I don't know, man. For some reason, that just looks good. Does that look good to anybody else? It's just this copy alone. Like every other copy looked good. But this, brand new, with that cover art, I don't know why. It looks good to me. I might make out with this later. Later. I've already made out with it. Several times. Next. Yeah, alright, this one, maybe less so. Oxenfree. Look how dark that case is. You can barely even read the freaking name of the game, but look how dark that is. I've never... Alright, that's not true. I was about to say I've never played this, but that's not true. I actually did play the first hour of this game and found it really interesting, but I was playing too many games like this at the time where it's like very, very choice heavy. It's not like a Telltale game exactly. It's like a side-scrolling game, kinda, with some puzzles and some dialogue choices. But I was playing too many games at the time like this, so I decided not to. It's very much... I guess it's kind of like Until Dawn for the teenage angst people. If you like teenage angst, I guess. That's what I gathered from the first hour. But I'm sure it's different than that. It looked like it was going into maybe like Stranger Things territory, except that came out before Stranger Things. But so more like a old like Spielberg movie or something like that. Next is Dear Esther Landmark Edition. That's another one. If you're not looking at it the right way, you can't tell what the fuck it is. But Dear Esther is a game I actually do have on Xbox One. Never played it, but I heard it's a great game. I have a lot of games I've never played. That's what happens when you're a collector. You buy all these games and you just never play them. You just buy them because, hey, I have it in my collection. I'm a hoarder. That's a nice way to put a hoarder is a collector. But Dear Esther it looks nice. So I'm excited to play that. Obviously not that excited because I haven't played it yet. Next is The Swindle, a steampunk cyber crime caper. There you go. Nice little copy. Next is, oh my god, Bit Trip presents Runner 2, Future Legend of Rhythm Alien. There you go, that's the full title. And that is, of course, one of the Runner games. I think Runner 3 got announced, and I think it's coming out soon. I could be wrong, or it's out already. I don't even know. But next is Pang Adventures, which is a reboot of a classic series. I've never heard of it before, and I heard this game's not very good, so I guess that'll be the last of the Pangs. No more Pangs, that's for sure. Next, I'm going to try this one. Mitsurugi Kamu Hakai? I don't know, but that sounds kawaii as fuck, so I'm excited. Perfect Your Strike. I don't know. It was a limited run game, so I had to get it. Next is Nova 111. This looks like one of those limited run games that will never, ever be rare. But I had to get it anyway because I had a nice collection. I'm not going for a complete collection, obviously. But if there's something that looks interesting enough and I have the money for it, I'll pick it up. So Nova 111. There you go. Next is Astabreed, which is an unfortunate title, but no, it's not. It's a fine title. I'm just being a dickhead. This is, I think, a side-scrolling shooter. Like I don't know. Actually, you can't really tell. It's a little dark in my room, to be fair, but can't really tell. But I think it's like a side-scrolling shooter. Again, this is for the collection. It looks nice. Look at that anime. Look at all the anime. Look at this anime girl. Of course, she's freaking stacked. Of course, they're both stacked. This guy's probably got a huge dick, too, even though he looks like he's 12. So, next. Flint Hook. This game's actually really good from what I've heard. It went on Xbox One. I was going to buy it when it first came out on Xbox One, but it was a little bit pricey. It was like 15 bucks. It looks like it's a very simple kind of like shoot 'em up kind of loot game or whatever. I think it might have some roguelike elements, but here's the background just in case you want to really figure that one out. Next is another game I have loose in the case, sadly. This is Mutant Mudds Super Challenge. They had the regular Mutant Mudds. I think it was called Mutant Mudds Deluxe. But I wanted to get this one because I thought maybe it would be a little bit rarer. I don't know if it is. Next is Risk of Rain, another one, which sucks. Risk of Rain. I heard that's a really good little roguelike. I think it's a roguelike. Next is the newest one I got, which is Broken Age. There you go. I actually did a limited run unboxing for this and another game, but sadly I fucked up and I didn't export it onto my PC and I deleted the unboxing. So you won't be seeing that, sadly. So I apologize. You can blame my own stupidity. It was a fine unboxing. It was just me opening the box. You know how unboxing works. I didn't actually open the box, the game box, but just the box I got the delivery in. So there you go. You won't be seeing that, but it's a very nice looking copy. It has a slip cover, which is really cool. And the last two games I got are actually two of the same games, and you've seen them before, so I'll just quickly get through these. Retro City Rampage DX. What? There you go. So anyway, there you go. That is my updated collection for my Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I did get quite a few new games. But next time I think I'll do this update will probably be at the end of the year. Maybe January of next year. I think that would make more sense because Christmas will be out. And of course, the Xbox One X will be out. And all these other games will be out. I don't know if I'm getting Xbox One X when it first came out anyway, so. There you go. I hope you enjoyed the PS4 and Xbox One game collection this time. This one was actually a little bit shorter than the last one. I tried to get through it a little bit quicker. Just a little bit. It's like 5 minutes shorter. So I should probably wrap it up before it becomes 4, 3, 2, 1 minute shorter. And then it becomes longer because I'm rambling on. Anyway, thank you. Until next time, goodbye.